Hey there crew members, Starfleet personnel, members of the Galactic Federation. Got a lot to get through in this video. I'm going to show you the development on the bridge. We're going to have a look at the BRIDGE-CREW ESCAPE SHUTTLE and the simulation of the turbo elevator travelling down through the turbo elevator shaft. Without further ado, let's get straight into that. Okay, so here we are on deck 2 behind the BRIDGE-CREW ESCAPE SHUTTLE. It took me about a week to build this. So we're located on deck 2 right under the bridge, and remember, this is just my kind of take, my imagination, reimagining of the Enterprise. I'm not saying that it's canon, it definitely isn't canon, and I'm not saying that this is the definitive ship. It's just my imagination. I'm just having a bit of fun with it, and I'm imagining it as though it was a real ship and not a TV set made of plywood. So anyway, this is my idea behind this was that, okay, look, if you're on the bridge and the ship's got like 10 minutes to go before it goes nova, you're going to really appreciate this craft. There's Jim Kirk checking it out. The doors are open, and so we can take a little peek inside there. Nice TOS style controls, and a doorway there into the cockpit, and then behind here is where the rest of the bridge crew would go. Okay, so this model is made, these warp engines here, I'm really happy with these actually. It's made of kitchen roll tubes, as you might know, but I'm really happy with the way it came out with this kind of detailing on the back here, and this here, it's got landing legs. Originally I was going to have this bridge escape shuttle on a turntable. You can see the turntable underneath here, and here you can see the partially finished shuttle rotating on that turntable. When I posted this in my Patreon group, a few comments came in saying, hey look, I mean, it looks cool, but that turntable, if you've got to get off that ship pretty quick, it's not fast enough. So it would be, the situation would be more like what we saw in the original movie Alien, where the Narcissus, the escape shuttle, just blew out. I mean, Ripley got in the ship and boom, it was gone. So I'm taking away the idea of the turntable, and I'm just having the idea that, look, if this shuttle is ever used and it leaves the ship, it means that the ship is done. It's gone. So it isn't coming back. So my idea is that here at the edge of deck 2, here, that if it's ever used, the sides of the hull, there will be special areas that will just literally blow out. No opening hatchways or hangar bay doors or nothing. The hull will literally blow out, and this shuttle containing the bridge crew will be out in about 60 seconds. Alright, so, you know, if there's damage on this side and it can't get out, then the shuttle can either go out forwards or backwards. So it might be that the back edge here blows out, or both sides blow out, and then the shuttle just gets out of there. Okay, so here we go, round to the front of the shuttle. It's got landing legs, adjustable landing legs, and there we go, there's the front. I'm really pleased with this design, and actually those doors are a little bit DeLorean time machine style, so I quite like that, the way they open. Here, the nacelles at the front are just two Christmas baubles. Now actually one Christmas bauble, plastic Christmas bauble cut in half, and it fit just perfectly under there. So very, very happy with that design. Either side, okay, this is deck 2, so either side the bridge crew will come down here from the bridge level, and the door is right open and ready to go. Or it might be that they come up via the turbo elevator, the turbo lift here, and again the door is wide open, ready to go. Let me show you the underneath of that. And of course it's not finished yet, this model, so it's a work in progress. Here's the underneath, there's the landing legs underneath, retractable landing legs, and yeah, 1/25th scale. And there's the turntable, which has now been removed. Okay, so I think that's it for the shuttle. Interested to hear your thoughts about that. Let's move on now to the physics area in the back of the teardrop. So we are now on deck 3, and I'm going to remove deck 2 in a moment to show you a little bit of detailing that I did on deck 3. My idea was that there was an area that you could come in from deck 2 onto some kind of secondary level here. Cool classic Star Trek style environment, but this doesn't work. I'm going to change it, and the reason it doesn't work is if you look at this here, you can see the curvature of the hull, which just cuts into this, so it doesn't work, this one. So I'm going to change the design on that. And also I'm thinking that this space at the back is meant to be a big double level physics lab, so yeah, we don't need this here. Okay, so this doorway going through to deck 3, I've removed deck 2, and there's Jim Kirk again standing near the ladder entry down to deck 4. Another point about this detailing, this isn't the finished design that I'm going to do. I'm just placing detail in here so that I can get a feel for how the detailing might go in these decks, and also to give you an idea of the content of the teardrop. But this is by no means a final design. So there, we're down on deck 4 here, and you can see the entry to the ladders down here, leading up to this deck 3 here. Let's just go down eye level into deck 4. There's our crewman. So you can really get an idea of the size of this ship. I mean, this is just in the teardrop, not even started on deck 5, enormous deck 5, and then absolutely enormous deck 6 and deck 7. So again, there's the briefing room on deck 4. This will be the turbo elevator leading through all the decks. I've placed a little bit more detail in here, some nice curving corridor there leading to the back part of the teardrop, and a general overview of the whole thing. So you can mainly see the detail on deck 4, and then this partial detail here on deck 3. So these pieces here that are sticking out, these are wall panels that I'm going to cut to the curvature of the teardrop. So actually I'm going to do that now, so you can join me on that one. You've got to be really careful with the fingers here. I'm going against all the fingers in front. Quickly get those fingers behind that blade as I come down. Again, this is just an approximation of the curvature of the hull leading from deck 2 to deck 3, and then I would do the same all the way around. But you can see that is giving a really nice indication of that curvature. Quick shout out to Jackie in Manchester. Thank you, Jackie. Jackie sent me 100 of these blades. I go through hundreds of these blades. I always use a sharp blade, especially when I'm doing detailed work like on the shuttle. 100 of these blades. Thank you, Jackie. That is really appreciated. And Stuff like that really helps. Let's move on. Let's move on to the turbo elevator and the lighting system in the little window thing where you can see the decks passing through. Let's check that out now. So we're now in my 2D turbo lift, travelling down from the bridge down to deck 2. Now you can see those indicator lights. That's obviously and clearly not a deck indicator. We're not passing through decks with those lights. Now we're going back up to the bridge. Remember the scene in the Enterprise incident right at the end where Spock escorts the Romulan commander to her quarters, and he instructs the turbo lift to go to deck 2, and this is exactly what we see. We see this amount of lights passing through that window, so clearly that is not a deck indicator. Each time you see one of those lights pass, I thought it was the decks, but clearly it isn't, if we're going with that scene that we saw in the Enterprise incident. What I'm thinking that these are is simple motion indicators passing through, giving the direction of the turbo lift. But actually, we know what they are, really. They were just something, it was an effect added just to give the viewer of the show the impression that the actors in the scenes were actually travelling somewhere. Okay, I'll pull the camera out so you can see the simple mechanism that I used to create that. I built this light box type thing again out of cardboard with a 2D turbo lift in it and quite a strong light shining into the box. So a simple but effective set piece to demonstrate the movement of the lift. Finally, for this video, let's have a look at the development on the bridge. So let's take our turbo elevator back up to the bridge and have a look around. Further developments. The bridge dome over the top, which sits on these new superstructures. So if you check out, I've repainted these superstructures a lighter colour all the way around the bridge dome. And the reason I did that is, if you look at this picture here of that superstructure, it looked dark. It looks, I don't know, almost looked like a spider to me coming in. And I didn't like those dark superstructures, so I sprayed it a lighter grey, and I'm happy with that. I like it. I think it stays with that open, clean vibe of the classic series Enterprise. Further developments, if I come around here, here is one of the exits off the bridge to the side of the view screen. We can come around here, we can see the view screen, and if I give you a top shot, you can see both those exits now, left and right. Coming back around, coming through one of those exits, there's another doorway going to be here, with those stairs leading down to deck 2. So the doorway here, of course, if anything goes down on deck 2 or any of the other decks, these can seal the bridge level from anything, you know, like toxic gas or anything going on the deck below can be sealed off very quickly from this maintenance corridor here and the bridge. This is all a work in progress in preparation for the final build, which begins early 2024. So it might be, nothing is fixed yet. It might be that deck 2 here is not an emergency escape level with the shuttle on it. It might be that it's the science labs, as in the old blueprints. So let me know what you think in the comments section. Travelling down through deck 3, just have one final look at deck 4. Don't forget, if this is your first visit to this channel, or even if it isn't your first visit, do consider subscribing. It makes a huge difference from this side, and also do consider supporting the mission on Patreon. So there's a nice view from the top, coming down through the level of deck 2, deck 3 and deck 4. As always, I hope the video finds you well, and I hope the video leaves you with some classic Star Trek magic, wonder and hope and fun. Just got to share this with you. The other day when I was carrying the bridge model through to the other room to work on the other decks, I got the real feel that I was on the Enterprise, and I've got to share this with you now. So I'm lifting the whole of deck 2 up and the bridge, and I'm just going to take it for a little spin. Take us out, Mr. Sulu. Take it easy. I mean, look at that. Can you get a real feel for travelling on board the Enterprise? We're coming around here, and then, yeah, a few days ago I was walking through the door here, and I had a real classic Star Trek moment, because as I came through the door, it's too big to get through the door, so there you go, Captain! Part of the superstructure has gone, and pretty soon there's one of the chairs, just like in a classic episode. Boom! Boom! You just envisage all the crew at the moment flying around all over the bridge. There we go. I'm going to place it back down onto the bridge level now. Steady as she goes, Mr. Sulu. Stabilizers on. Okay, we're back down. Boom. What do you think a good name for this shuttle would be? Bridge Escape Shuttle. I was thinking Phoenix, because if this thing ever leaves the Enterprise, it means the Enterprise is boom. Phoenix from the flames. Let me know what you think a good name would be for this shuttle. Here's a really important point. All of these test models, it's all fine, it's all well and good, but it's all coming to a close very soon, the end of this month. Once all that is done with, there is one more test model that I want to do, and it's a very, very important one. And what it is going to be, and I'm really looking forward to doing this, is it's going to be a model of the final build and how it will be supported. Many, many times that question comes in: how the hell are you going to support this? The final build is not going to be made of cardboard, it's going to be made of high quality material supported on a metal and wood frame. So I think that is going to be the final test model that I do, and I think it's going to be something like about this big. So this will be the saucer section of the Enterprise, the dorsal here, and then I'm also going to play with how am I going to keep the integrity of the hull whilst also being able to show the interior. That's a big challenge actually, to be able to show the interior of the ship. Another big part of this mission, as you know, if you've been watching these videos, is as well as showing the interior of the ship, all those areas that we never saw on the show, I really, really want to get across the size of this original Enterprise, because, you know, it's okay. We see all this kind of new Trek with the Enterprise where it's the size of what is... How big are they doing it now? The Enterprise D was like a Star Destroyer from Star Wars. Sorry, not going into that. The original Enterprise, it was massive. It was absolutely massive. And I don't think it gets a fair play these days because of the size of all these other ships. So the final build, when this thing is on display, See our visitor here. I want our visitor to walk underneath this thing and just go, wow. And look up and just go, wow, look at that. And then of course there will be like scaffolding or another layer where you can walk up and then walk around the bridge here and have a look down, and even maybe one going across so you can actually have a look down onto the bridge. Okay, let's finish there. Thank you for watching. Please do consider subscribing to the channel. It makes a massive difference from this side. Thank you so much to the patrons supporting this mission, and please also do consider becoming a patron as well. See you soon with the next video. Bye for now. Dun, 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 dun. Shh.